Hello YouTube, welcome to the video review of Medal of Honor Warfighter. Like I say, it's going to be a short review, but I'll just go through the basics. What I've basically decided to do is review this in 5 sections. Basically graphics, sound, gameplay, multiplayer, value for money, and then I'll give it an overall rating at the end. So as you can see in the background, there's some multiplayer gameplay going off because I haven't really showcased any of this yet. Not the best at multiplayer in this game, but I do enjoy it, so I do play it occasionally. But yeah, I've pretty much done the single player campaign, and that's on YouTube. So yeah, graphics wise, there's some good and bad points. Good points are it still looks like a fantastic game. The graphics are very nice, the lighting effects are nice, shadows are nice. Particularly noted some of the fire and explosions in the single player campaign looked absolutely amazing. Better in other games, you know. Battlefield 3 I still think graphically is probably one of the best first person shoot 'em ups out there. Obviously you've got your Crisis 2 as well, which is fantastic. Call of Duty doesn't look too bad either. I wouldn't say it's smashing graphics wise, it's certainly up there, but it's nice. But yeah, graphics wise, pretty good. One thing I will say, the bullet penetration on this game is absolutely awful. You'll notice when you're playing the single player campaign, you're popping things and bullets hitting walls, and you cannot see any bullet marks in the walls, and I genuinely don't know why that is. But it is pretty much the only negative thing I would say is some of the destruction and the bullet penetration on the walls and going through the materials. Some of the debris in the driving missions looks absolutely amazing as well. So yeah, overall, what I'm going to do is I'm going to score every section out of 5, give it an overall rating out of 25. So overall, I'd probably give this game a 4 out of 5 graphically. It is a very good game. Graphically, it looks pretty, plays nice, solid FPS wise all the way through the game. Very few FPS spikes. I am running an i5 375K and a GTX 560 Ti. So yeah, it runs fine. I'm running the game at 1980 by 1020, I think it is. Yeah, basically 1080p, and it's running absolutely smooth as anything. So it's yeah. So yeah, graphically very impressed. 4 out of 5. Right, sound wise, I can't really fault this game. As you can hear in some of the multiplayer gameplay, and you've seen some of the through the single player, voice acting is very good. I thought some of the people that played some of the soldiers, especially in the cutscenes as well, I thought the cutscenes were nicely done. Sound wise, some of the explosions sounded absolutely fantastic, and I've got a 5.1 surround sound headset that I use in the bass that just makes it better. So I was quite impressed with the sound of this game. Again, not amazing. There are better games out there. BioShock 2 and BioShock still by far some of the best music and sound scores I've ever seen in a game. Not particularly a fan of the games, but they are fantastic sound wise. So yeah, there are better games, but this is way up there. One thing I will note is it does seem to bug out the sound occasionally. Sometimes you'll throw a grenade and you'll not hear the explosion. Don't know whether that's something to do with the audio and the way it works with the 5.1. But to get the full sound experience, sometimes I did have to switch the sound down to stereo, despite running a 5.1 setup. Genuinely don't know why that is. And I've not seen any fixes on the EA forums, on the Battlelog forums for it. Everyone seems to have a similar problem. It seems to be a problem with the VoIP, especially in multiplayer. But I can't vouch for that because I don't tend not to use the VoIP, if I'm honest here. If I'm playing this, I just turn it off because it's 9 times out of 10 you just get a load of kids screaming at you. So yeah, sound wise, we'll give it 3.5, simply because there are a few bugs in there, but when it works, it is fantastic. Right, multiplayer. We'll go to the multiplayer next. Now, a lot of people have slammed the multiplayer in this game. If I'm honest here, I enjoyed it. It's different. The offensive, defensive support weapon thing, I know it's been carried over from Medal of Honor 1. Well, I say Medal of Honor 1, Medal of Honor 2010, shall we call it. But yeah, I was impressed. There's some nice game modes like domination and your normal sort of things. Team deathmatch works right. All the support weapons seem balanced. I mean, the helos in Call of Duty, you get a helo, it might as well end the round. Whereas on this, it's actually more tactical, which is what it was designed to be. So that you have to put it in the right place, otherwise you cannot shoot a thing. It doesn't move. It only aims in the direction you choose it. It can be used as a spawn point, the Black Hawk. So yeah, it's a lot more tactical than the Call of Duties. So yeah, I was quite impressed with the multiplayer. There are a lot of bugs. There are still a lot of people saying out there that the hit detection on this game, because it does online hit detection, is still very poor. Personally, can't say I've had a problem. As you can see, I do die quite a bit, shall we say. But I can hold my own. I'm still learning the multiplayer in this game, learning the maps, so apologies for the poor gameplay in the background. Yeah, it's not up there with Call of Duty and Battlefield. There are a lot of bugs, but it does run fine. There was very little lag. Enjoyed it. So yeah, I'll give it probably a 3 out of 5. I think 3.5 out of 5. Sorry. So yeah, enjoyed it. Right, value for money. Now, in relation to this, I paid £20 for this game online for the limited edition. Now, say if it was a £30–35 game, which some of the FPS is coming out. I mean, I think Black Ops in the UK is retailing at about £42 for PC, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. I've seen it cheaper online elsewhere. I think the cheapest I've seen it online is £36 for the PC edition. Sorry, but absolutely ridiculous prices. I refuse to pay it. So I won't be getting Black Ops straight away. I'll be definitely waiting for a digital download to come down cheaper. 20 quid for this game is a reasonable price. I think that's fair. On launch, I mean, I probably wouldn't have paid any more than that. Yeah, definitely worth £20 in my opinion. I can't see it coming down. Sorry, I can see it coming down in price fairly soon. So if it goes down to a tenner, which I think is roughly about $17–18, yeah, I'd pick it up at that. I'm not sure what's going to happen in the way of DLC on this game, because the community is still quite hot. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see what Danger Close do with it, really, because I think Black Ops 2 is going to pretty much take the community away from this game. Or they'll go back to Battlefield 3 when Endgame comes out. But yeah, value for money, £20. I can't complain. I'd probably like to have paid a little bit less, but I thoroughly enjoyed the single player campaign. The multiplayer is good and solid. Looks pretty, sounds good. I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 5 at the £20 mark. If it comes down, great. If it goes down to £10–15, pick this up. It is definitely worth it. So yeah, 4.5 out of 5 for that, and that's based on a £20 price tag. Now, coming to the final section, which I think is probably the most important section of anything game-wise, and that is the game's gameplay. Now, I do have a few issues with the gameplay in this game. Absolutely love the single player campaign, can't fault it. really enjoyed it from the moment one all the way through to the end. I found out that the pistols are actually easy to use in the main weapon zone again, which is really annoying, but I'm not going to grumble too much. The guns are a little hard to control, especially in the multiplayer, but as you progress through the levels, I think I've got to about rank 30 or 40 now. I think these videos for the multiplayer were recorded a while back on launch day, I think. I'm about rank 30 or 40 now in the multiplayer, and it's a lot easier. The guns you get some upgrades, then the guns are a lot easier to control, but in the single player you don't get that facility. So I found some of the machine guns a little hard to control. That's probably me being a bit of a noob, but in the same respect, I thought the recoil on some of the weapons was just so big. Shooting things was challenging. So I ended up switching to the pistol or single shot quite a lot. The grenades, now normally grenades are my forte, I'm pretty accurate with them, but this again struggled. The arcs, it just seemed a bit random. You could throw a grenade, two exactly the same grenades, and I felt like going two different positions. So not a fan of the main weapons or the grenades in this game, to be fair. But I'm not going to grumble, because they're things that may be patched out in the future. But gameplay wise, I really enjoyed this. Single player campaign was absolutely amazing in comparison to some out there. Especially, I mean, Modern Warfare 3 was a big letdown for me. Single player campaign, clearly tacked on at the end, or felt tacked on at the end in comparison to the multiplayer. I'm hoping Blops 2 corrects that in for the Call of Duty series. Battlefield 3, good campaign, but I just think this campaign in this game is far better. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. So yeah, again, I'll give it a 4 out of 5 for gameplay, because there are some issues, but they're not game-breaking issues. Overall, very good game. Pick it up. Danger Close's done a good job with this game in comparison to Medal of Honor 2010, which I thought was pretty bad, to be fair. Played it, enjoyed it, but not a good effort. In my opinion, on Danger Close on that one, this is a far superior product to Medal of Honor 2010. Hoping they do release some map packs and DLC for it, or even some new game modes. But yeah, pick it up, get online, enjoy it. If you do want to add me on Origin, feel free. You can see my username in some of the videos. Yeah, so total score 19.5 out of 25. It'd have probably crept up better if it wasn't for a few bugs. Probably third in the FPS market behind Battlefield and Call of Duty, but yeah, pick it up. I would recommend this game, and I will certainly be continuing to play this, especially the multiplayer. But yeah, go out and buy it. If you enjoyed this review, like, subscribe and comment. My website that I'm doing a bit of a blog on and some reviews and so forth. I think next up is probably going to be Need for Speed Most Wanted, and then it will be on to Far Cry 3. Really looking forward to Far Cry 3, so keep in touch. If you've got any feedback, as I say, leave it, and we'll see you soon. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.